This is Mirabella's Kitchen, and today I'm making beef stew. If you'd like to follow along and cook with me, please check the description below for a list of my ingredients. And don't forget your trusty onion goggles. I start by dicing one large yellow onion. I mince 3 cloves of garlic. And I cut 2 pounds of beef stew meat, aka chuck, into about 1-inch pieces. I like my pieces smaller. I heat a Dutch oven over medium heat and add vegetable oil. And I cook the beef in batches so as not to steam them because I'm trying to brown them. And once the meat starts to release easily from the pan, it's okay to turn them. And I'm cooking for the most part, all of the pink away. It's gonna cook in the stew for about 2 hours, so we're not worried about cooking it through. I have a lot of oil left over from cooking the meat, so I have a piece of aluminum foil I molded to my sink, and I'm gonna dump the oil into it, let it cool, and toss it out. I add the beef stew meat back to the Dutch oven, add 1 can of diced tomatoes, 12 ounces of beef stock, the diced onion and minced garlic, 1 tablespoon of dried parsley, 3 tablespoons of minute tapioca, aka instant tapioca. You can find it in your baking aisle near the Jell-O most likely. It thickens the stew. You can also use flour and water slurry. 1 teaspoon of coarse kosher salt, 2 bay leaves, and a lot of freshly ground black pepper, probably till your hand starts to become sore. I mix everything together, breaking up some of the fond from the bottom of the pan, and I turn the heat up to medium-high and bring the stew to a boil. Next, I cover the stew with a lid, and I place the Dutch oven into a preheated oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 1 hour. Next, I start the vegetables for the stew. I peel 1 pound of carrots and dice the carrots into about equal sized pieces. I dice 4 ribs of celery. I peel 3 small russet potatoes and dice them. Once the stew is cooked for an hour, I remove it, and look how thick that stew is. So I'm gonna add the vegetables at this point, and the vegetables are gonna release a lot of liquid during this stage of cooking. The stew is going back into the oven for another hour covered, and then it'll be all done. It's gonna be great. 3 pounds of russet potatoes are peeled and diced because we're making garlic mashed potatoes with this. I also take 6 cloves of garlic and crush it with the butt of my peeler, or you can use a garlic crusher. Party for crushed garlic. I put the potatoes into a saucepan, cover them with water, and add 2 tablespoons of salt. Bring that to a boil and boil them for 30 minutes until they're falling apart. You can barely grab them with a fork when trying to pierce them. They're so soft. I take 1.5 cups of heavy cream and the crushed garlic and bring that up to a simmer. Once that is simmering, I dump the water from the potatoes and return them to the saucepan. And I pour in the simmered cream and garlic and 1/4 cup of grated Parmesan cheese. And then I mash the potatoes until they're smooth and let them sit for about 5 minutes before serving. After hour number 2 is complete, I remove the Dutch oven with the beef stew from the oven. And look at how beautiful it looks. Remove the bay leaves. Don't forget those little suckers. And I take about 1 large scoop of mashed potatoes and a few generous scoops of the beef stew, and I put them in a bowl, or sometimes you can put the mashed potatoes on a plate and put a crevice in and put the stew over it. And that's beef stew. Thanks for joining me today. I make new videos on cooking every Wednesday. Please support me on Patreon and on Facebook at Mirabella's Kitchen.